Department store owner John Wanamaker is credited for joking, "Half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The problem is, I don't know which half." Billions of dollars are spent on advertising each year, and while we've come a long way in measuring advertising effectiveness, we don't have any one theory that tells you how it works. We have 7. Veteran strategist Paul Feldwick went through the history of advertising and curated 6 different theories. I added a 7th, signaling, from Rory Sutherland's book Alchemy. You should read both. Don't think of these theories like philosophical theories that contradict each other or are subject to debates. Think of each theory of advertising as layers on a cake. Each theory adds to the truth of the next, and each one is important to the overall taste of the cake. But because the cake is so big, most ads or pieces of marketing content often borrow from just a few layers. We can only eat so much at a time. In the next series of videos, I'm going to show you a different theory of advertising. In this video, I talk about selling.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC. Old Spice and not a lady.
I run 17 miles every morning.
Great new idea. You want something better. Your Wendy's kind of
Is the most interesting man in the world.
To talk about advertising as selling, we need to talk about Albert Lasker, who worked his way up to become CEO of Lord & Thomas Ad Agency. At the time, ad agencies mostly placed ads, but Lasker was convinced that what the ad said and looked like was just as important as where it was placed. He just didn't know what made for good advertising creative. One day, he got a note. "I am downstairs in the saloon. I can tell you what advertising is. I know you don't know. If you wish to know what advertising is, send the word yes down with the bellboy. Signed, John E. Kennedy." Albert went down to meet him and asked the question, "What is advertising?" John replied, "Advertising is salesmanship in print." So Albert asked the follow-up question, "Okay, what is salesmanship?" John replied, "To get them to buy, you have to give a reason why." So Lasker started making ads that offered a clear customer benefit in the headline, and then copy that explained that benefit further. California oranges weren't just California oranges, they were sun-kissed. Kleenex offered you tissues one at a time. We still have benefit advertising today. Tums cures your heartburn in seconds. One of Lasker's copywriters, Claude Hopkins, added another layer to advertising theory: the importance of targeting. That's why his ads were divided into male and female versions. But before you offer a reason why, you need to capture their attention. The attention, interest, desire, action model of advertising, which you still see in textbooks today, was formed over 120 years ago by Elias St. Elmo Lewis. Elias created the AIDA model for sales, but advertisers brought it into their ads. Let's take another look at Hopkins' Pepsodent ad. The picture grabs your attention. The headline piques your interest. The rest of the copy helps create the desire, and at the bottom is a call to action to buy the product. Daniel Starch, one of the pioneers of market research, created a model of advertising very similar to AIDA, but importantly adding memory as a core function of advertising. Ad recall is still a success metric used today. The idea being that when a consumer was looking at a shelf full of products, they're more likely to pick the brands of the ads they remember. Years later, Rosser Reeves would add another element to the sell. It wasn't enough to give a reason why or be memorable. You also had to be unique. Avis is number 2, so they try harder. M&M's is the milk chocolate that melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Bell is Canada's fastest, TELUS is Canada's largest and fastest, and Rogers is Canada's most proven. Okay, fine, they're hardly distinct, but you get the picture. The concept of advertising as salesmanship assumes that humans are rational, that they use their smart, profit-maximizing, rational brain to make purchase decisions. Here's the thing. Humans are not Vulcans. Emotion plays a huge role in our purchase decisions. And that is the subject of the next video. To learn more about Albert Lasker, who Terry O'Reilly called the most interesting man in advertising, listen to this podcast, or read the transcript.